Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a chance, those of you that weren't able to make it to our live session, this is a little intro about this video. We're starting to do, Gerber Business Solutions is starting to do more online events in order to meet the needs of the small business owners. We know that you're tired, we know that you don't have a lot of time, and we know that you don't have a lot of money and you're strapped for cash because you are trying to put it towards other investments for your small business. So this video is to help you with building awareness, brand image, and to help you stay calm. Let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you. And as always, good luck turning chaos into order. Have a great day. Bye. And if that stinking thing would get out of the way, there we go. Okay. So basically, to give you an idea of my session is about how to build awareness. Now, through small businesses, the number one thing that they all needed help with, or at least most of them needed help with, about 75% need help building awareness and getting more clients or customers. So that's why we're doing how to build awareness. How to build awareness. Awareness is the first step of the sales funnel. Come on, what are you doing? Computer, there we go. Awareness is the first step, and it's not letting me. I'm just making the mistake so that other people don't have to.
Technology is awesome.
Promise. I tested this out like 50 times. Let me do something else. Let me try again. That's so funny. It will be sad if I have to show you guys this on the edit mode. There we go. Okay, this is super cool. Now you guys can feel free to be amazed, okay? So start now to be amazed. How to build awareness by me. Now we're building awareness. So when you have a business, this is a basic sales funnel. You're getting people to know your company. You're building this awareness of your brand and your image and what you do for people. So that's like social media and just getting your name out there. The next step will be that people will consider your product or service. After that, they will decide which service they will choose. After that, they will take action and they will purchase or register something. After that, they will become loyal, and after that, they will advocate your product to other people. So this is the basic idea behind the sales funnel. So the biggest part of what you do to get people into the sales funnel is to build this awareness. We're going to talk a little bit about how to do that and that's what we're doing today, is trying to share that awareness to get the word out without being salesy. I personally am a really timid person. I don't like having my video on things, like my face anywhere. I would much rather be the one that's behind the scenes getting all the work done and someone else takes credit and gives the big speeches. I can even prepare the speech for them, but I don't like being in front of people. So sales is not something that I love, but it is really important because if you don't let people know what you're doing, then your sales are going to be zero. So sales it's really an important side of things. I have taken the side of just the way that I do it is a little bit different, and it's the way that I feel comfortable with it. There's maybe more people that feel differently or like to do things in a different way, but I like to share and serve and collaborate instead of push and bug people. So the first step is to share knowledge with other people. And I'm just looking over to make sure I'm not missing anything. Share your knowledge about your product with people. Be free and open to helping people understand, and that will build awareness. share your personality. Don't be afraid to be yourself when you're, when you're running your business, when you're creating social media or trying to let people know about your product or service. The mission statement, the vision, and the goals that you set for your company will be based around you. And if you try to live in this world where other people feel to fit the need of other people, or to try to be someone that you're not, it's going to feel weird, and you're not going to feel comfortable whenever you try to do that. So try to share who you are, share your personality, your quirks even, and the people that want your product and that get along with you, they'll flock to you, and it will be a real sale, and you'll feel comfortable with it. So another good thing to do is to attend events. I know this seems kind of like a no-brainer, but attend events and take pictures and take videos and meet people and just share your experience through social media and through the people that when you go to these events, just share some of yourself, some of your personality with the people that are around you. People have asked me how I've been able to meet, I should have put on here, Christopher Gorham he's from the Covert Affairs and a few other things. I had the opportunity to meet him, and I just decided, even though I'm super shy, I decided that I would use it as a business opportunity and try to help draw in the small business realm. He was at an opening of a local movie that he had directed and produced, and I walked up to him, and instead of just getting a cheesy picture, I told myself it doesn't hurt to ask. So I asked him if I could do a video interview with him, and he said yes. And so many people have asked me, how did you get to be able to do that interview? And it's simply because I asked and attended that event, and I was out. Now, if I was at home, or if I was, just in my office and just doing my own thing, I wouldn't have been able to have that opportunity. Now, that drew in any followers that liked him and on my social media, and that drew in more awareness to my brand, as well as, hey, she's meeting with him. Like, what else is she doing? So attending events and being out in the open is really important, as long as you let people know what you're doing too. Building memories is really important. What I mean by that is just making your posts and your social media memorable. Like, for instance, taking the opportunity to make it fun and to be able to have something that people will remember. So I'm trying to think while I talk. It's very tricky. Welcome. I don't see your name, but Monica. Is that Monica? Hello. So we're just talking about building awareness and building memories that people will take away with them. They want to see what you're doing, what your business is doing. So if you're a restaurant, a really good idea is to, go to your house, in your kitchen, and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and put that on Facebook or on social media. Let people get to know you and let them see parts of your life so that they can become aware of who you are. That's one of my favorite things to do also, is to just think of the things you would want to see and then do them. And then my favorite one to do is to collaborate. A lot of times we're stuck in our rut and we're trying to be competitive, and we think that we can't share our business with anyone else. We can't talk to a competitor. We can't talk to anybody else because we just have to make it on our own. But that's not true. The more that we share our company with other businesses, the more that we offer to help them bring their business in, the more often we build awareness, because we're grabbing all of our people and we're sharing with the businesses we collaborate with, and then we get more engagement, they get more engagement, and we get a friend that we are a friendship with another business that we can call on when we need things. For instance, I don't know if you noticed, but Camille and I have done quite a few things together. And so, you know, collaborating with other businesses not only helps them, but it helps us in return. So, hope that I got that. So it's a good idea to collaborate with like-minded people, not necessarily competitors, but complementers. Share engagement for both sides is a win-win. So I've told also like a makeup client of mine that if she wanted to, she could have like a Facebook video with like a LuLaRoe type of person. They could do an engagement, like a video together where they're talking about different steps on how to get ready for a date or for a business meeting or something. And that's an idea where it boosts the LuLaRoe person, it boosts the Synergence person, and it's interesting to other people because they see that the two companies are working together. So we're talking about collaborations, and really the main purpose of collaborations is to show the other company that we like them and we want to be in business with them, and we want to share our product with everyone. So sorry. And they'll remember that. An example is Chick-fil-A and Shutterfly. I couldn't believe this. I got this in the mail actually not in the mail. Why was I saying that? My kids got this from Happy Meal, and this is the toy that they decided at Chick-fil-A to hand out to everyone. It's a frame that Chick-fil-A paid for. It's not very expensive. And then it's a little coupon for a Shutterfly product. So Chick-fil-A and Shutterfly even collaborated together to put this together into a Happy Meal. I was so excited when I saw that because I was like, look, everyone's building engagement and awareness here. Like this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're sharing and we're growing together. These are two products that people would never, like if you look at this sandwich, like this Chick-fil-A company sells sandwiches. They would never think about doing anything like building a product that has pictures in it or is online, is on the computer. But together, they're drawing the people that love both of those things together for this product. So Chick-fil-A people will like Shutterfly, and Shutterfly people will like Chick-fil-A. It's a win-win. And that's one of my favorite things about not being salesy. So here's another one to do: interviews and events. Those are really good for boosting on social media. My friend that's a really talented photographer, she and I did a collaboration on a conference just recently and put both of our talents together to build a broader interest for more people. And that was really fun and really successful. Okay. Attending their events, like I came to Camille's event, and Camille, maybe you could speak to this a little bit. It's been something new I've been trying out, and Camille was one of the first ones that, I try with each of my clients to come to their event and to help them there. That's the idea that I've had. Camille, how do you feel that went for you?
It was awesome because when you're the person in charge of the event, a lot of times there's a lot of things that you don't remember to do or that go through the cracks. And maybe I'm different than Emily, but I like to be the voice and the face of my business. And so I like to have someone who's behind the scenes making sure that that the giveaways I have for people are all set up, and that she did videos interviewing people that came to my mindfulness in the mountains event and just their experience with it. She was doing video of me actually in the event, so that when people watch it that we're not at the event, they kind of know what it's about, which I could not have done with, I couldn't have taken a video of myself in that way. So it's kind of all that behind the scenes stuff that makes the event even better and more people be able to see it and makes it more engaging for people. And it helps me be able to do what is in my genius, which is to be the person that's talking about mindfulness and stress and how to deal with things. And so I love that. I love having someone that's behind the scenes kind of helping things run smoothly and keep things together. It's really powerful to have other people and the synergy of others to help expand your business. So
yeah,
we all have things we're good at and other things we're not so good at. So
yeah, and that's been really fun. That's been really fun for me to be able to go to my clients' events and to help them. And that helps me get to know them. And it also shows them that I know what I'm doing. Like, if I'm going to go out and try to convince someone by telling them, hey, you really need to invest in my product. You really need to do this. There's no better way. That way pushes people off a lot. It does remind them and it does get them familiar with your product, but sometimes it leaves a bad taste. And my philosophy is show them by doing. So if you want someone to get to know your product better, give it to them, serve people and be at events where you're collaborating with other people. And that really helps to put a good taste in their mouth. They'll want to buy your donuts. Now I want a donut. and it'll be better for everyone in the long run. I forgot to mention too, for the participants who are here, we'll solve business problems towards the end of each of these sessions. We want to be able to help you with your business live today too, since you took your day. So think about things that you would want to ask us, and we'll go through this and we'll answer questions towards the end. So mine will be over in just a few minutes. So another thing, just to go along with the other steps, is to be personable. I wrote down, where did it go? Be personable. So be real, really take a few minutes to get to know your client or your customer and what their needs are, and respond to their specific needs every time. If you're at, for instance, Baked Bear is this ice cream place down in Lehigh. I noticed that they're really good at, even though it's a bustle and you're in a long line, as soon as you get to the counter, they're really nice and they make it really easy for you to get through the line quickly. And when you're at the register, they remind you about the frequent punch card, and they do a really good job just smiling at you. I noticed that each of them, and I go there a lot, each of them makes a point to look you in the eye and say, thank you so much for coming in. Have a great day. And I've even seen times where someone has followed me to the table and brought me napkins. And I thought, at a busy place, you don't get that. But people are expecting you to just be a number. If you can overcome that, and then you'll get more and more positive buzz. And
there's one at Fashion Place Mall too.
Oh no. Yeah. Don't tell me that. So one of the biggest things to move to the next section is consistency. Small business owners have a hard time with consistency because they're a one-man show or a small show with one person in charge. It's hard for them to be consistent when they hear of an idea and they just want to do it. So consistency is really important no matter what size of your business. Make a plan, follow it through, and don't give up. A lot of times as a small business owner, it's really easy to give up. Trust me, I have tried to give up many times, and I just have to keep coming back to, well, this video. Let's show. I hope that it makes sound for you. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Oh, well, you can see what it is.
I can kind of hear it now.
A lot of times I feel like this boy where the whole world is like after me and they keep putting my ideas down, and I just know that I have a great idea if I could just keep going. So this relates to me maybe more than the rest of you. I love to run, and I just love this part where he breaks free from these restraints. And I think of it as the restraints of like the world or people that are telling you no. Just break free from those and be consistent. Continue to do what you know is going to work. Even if it breaks along the way, just be consistent and don't give up.
And then he runs across the country.
Yeah. And he gets that smiley face shirt. I love it. It's my favorite part. And see, even this part, like he's older, he knows what he's accomplished, and this lady doesn't know him. She's like, whatever. But he's consistent through the whole thing, and that's a really good something for me to remember and rely on, is to just be consistent, to believe in yourself, and have good people around you. I love my team of Lavinia and Camille, and we've, and the other people I've collaborated with. Like when I have an idea, I ask them, and it works really well because they let me know, you're doing great. It's awesome. And can't you see? So another thing to do are these quotes here. Look back on your positive quotes. Share stories about your company on social media. That also helps you to remember how far you've come. If you don't share stories about how far you've come, that's why I have this other one right here, the American Dream. This is my great-grandfather who came over from Norway, and he opened a shoe repair store in the 1900s in Tacoma, where I grew up, Tacoma, Washington. And so anytime that life is hard for me, or in the beginning of starting out this consulting business, I keep thinking, he did it. He did a really good job, and I can do it. So some of that is just to remind yourself how far you've come, because even if things aren't working out for that day, you've come a long ways, and you've done a lot you've learned a lot, and you've grown a lot, and that's really important. People can't take that away from you, and it's only going to help you improve to remember how far you've come. So the next step is customer service, and I just came up with this little chart to help remember to pay attention to them, just like in Lehigh at the baked fair where I get my ice cream. They paid attention to me. That made a big difference in my day. It was a stressful day. I came in, I just wanted ice cream. They paid attention to me. They smiled at me. And that made a world of difference. As soon as you pay attention to your clients and customers, write down things that you want to do to change, and implement those changes. Another good way to come across those changes, to find out what the changes should be, is to have a customer service survey. And I know people don't really like surveys, but they give a lot of really good information. If you can get 10% of the people you send it out to, then you'll get a really good sample of what you should do to change things. And I would just make sure that you remember to give some sort of incentive for them to fill out the survey, so that so they know that you appreciate them. And also you can have a video of yourself saying, "Thanks so much for taking the time to fill out this survey. I really appreciate it, and our business can't go on without you. That really means a a lot to me for you filling this out. Thank you so much. A video of the actual owner of the company goes a lot further than just sending a blanket survey to everyone at every point. People don't really pay attention to that as much. So that's been something that's worked really well for me that I love because it's personal. And in this world, people are not as personal anymore, so they get surprised when someone speaks directly to them. And then the last step is to thank them for their help. Thanks goes a long way. Don't forget to thank them for when they take time out of their busy day to help you. So to go to the last step, team buy-in is really important. If you have a team, small or big, you have this mission, vision, values, and goals. It's really important for you to get buy-in from your group that you're working with. Like Lavinia and our assistant, we like to we've had meetings in the past where we talk about, the changes that we want to make. Try to make sure that it's a team-oriented thing, that everyone gets a say in it. And when we come up with the mission, vision, values, and goals of a company, those need to be reviewed every quarter or every month, and then also have them placed like on a mirror or close to somewhere that the employees and the staff members can see the vision and the mission so they can remember it. A bad example of that is a story that I heard, a study about the dry cleaner in California, where lots of people need their clothes dry cleaned, and they're really busy, and there's a lot of working professionals as well. The story is that actually my professor's, this story came from him, walked into a dry cleaner, and it said something on the wall to the effect of, "We want to be your #1 choice for dry cleaning needs." He was very impressed by that. He's a business professor, and he said, "Okay, well, I'm really grateful about that sign. That sign says that you're really excited to be my #1 choice." And the lady who was at the counter said, "Yeah, well, it's just kind of something my boss put up there. Don't pay attention to it." And she just kind of gave him his clothes and said, "Okay, see you later. Thanks for coming." He was really upset by that because he knew how important a mission, vision, values, and goals are, and to have it posted on the wall, that is really important. To have everyone see it is a good step, but it kind of it doesn't help anybody if the whole team doesn't buy in to what the mission, vision, values, and goals are. You need to get everybody on board for that. A good example of that is another dry cleaner that had a delivery man just came with my sign for the conference that I'm doing tomorrow, for the booth that I'm at tomorrow. So yeah. So the good example is the dry cleaner. The other one greets you at the door. He walks in and they greet him at the door. They have a tailor on staff to fix any loose buttons or any snags that are in your clothes, and it all comes for the same price as the other place. And they have something similar to this quote on their wall: "We will make sure you look your best, the best that we can for you," and they treat you really well. So that's a really good example of a team buy-in. Everyone is on board with that mission and vision, and they understand that that's the company policy, and they want to live it. So there's something behind that. There's respect for the people in charge, and there's an understanding that their life will be better if they accomplish the task in this way. So that's really important. Let me see if I can move this here. I can't see my little things. Okay, To incorporate, so it's important to incorporate the mission, vision, values, and goals, and to review them quarterly. And as a CEO, it's important to be a good example of what you believe in and what you're telling. If you, like that first one, and you don't respect your coworkers, you don't treat them well, they're not going to treat the customers well, and that's a really important step. So that's the end of my how to build awareness and steps on how to build your brand without being salesy. I did want to leave some time for questions, and before that, I'm going to go into what we do as a company, just to give you an idea. Gerber Business Solutions does coaching and consulting and small business services, people with marketing and technology and process, and pretty much anything else that you might need. I'm available almost any time for questions if you're not quite sure. And now, feel free to ask questions. So, are there any of you that have questions for me about sales or about anything? What can I do to help your company to succeed? So Brooke or Angela or Monica or the last caller, do you guys have questions about any of the stuff or examples of something that you've done that you'd like to share with the group?
So I've been doing my own thing for about 2 years, and so far I've just been working off straight referrals. So I just barely finished my website, and
nice.
I'm really starting to make a push. And so these are all good reminders of the things that you're saying and priorities that I haven't really been focusing on marketing and sales yet, but I need to start.
Good. Do you have a question about that's awesome, and a lot of times that's the hardest thing for small businesses is that you want to get the work done first. That's important, but you also have to have time for organizing your business, and sometimes that gets shuffled under. So it's important to set some easy goals that you can follow. Maybe just do one thing a week. And set priorities. That's maybe something helpful that you could see yourself accomplishing. As you do a little bit at a time, it will help to build your business, and you'll see better organization that way.
Yeah, good point. I don't know if I have a specific question right now, but it's all been helpful. Thank you.
Okay, good. Angela and Monica, I'm not sure if you guys do have any questions about anything we can help you with for your business. So I tried really hard to make this interactive, and I know it's super awkward because there's somebody talking and they go on for a while and then all of a sudden, okay, tell me what you think. But hopefully you've gotten some takeaways, and if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me at any time, or Lavinia and Camille are going to be available also. And maybe we'll save some time at the end for some extra questions if anybody thinks of something also. Okay, so without further ado, I am going to switch over to Camille. She's going to talk to us about the calmingness that we all need. I get so much. It's been really fun to take some of Camille's classes and to remember my yoga steps and to try to just breathe, because that's such an important part of business.
Yeah, so I'm super excited to talk about something I'm passionate about. I started my business about 2 years ago. So I am a clinical social worker, and I worked in healthcare. And what I saw is that a lot of people were not taking care of when they it was more sick care than health care, right? It wasn't preventative care. It was more taking care of people after they had an illness. And I noticed that for a lot of people, their illness was worse or exacerbated by stress. And sometimes it was even created by stress or not taking care of their health, right? And their own image of themselves and their feelings about themselves. So I decided to start my business because I love wellness. I've been a person who loves the outdoors. I love to bike and hike, and I absolutely love eating healthy and the energy it gives you. So I decided to start my business 2 years ago. And what I found is that entrepreneurs are one of the biggest groups that have a hard time taking care of themselves. And why do you think that is? Any ideas?
Many competing demands.
Brooke?
Many competing demands.
Yeah. So there is a lot of demands on our time, right? And now that I'm doing this, I'm finding the challenges of doing what I used to do, which is taking really good care of myself and exercising and eating well. But we have a lot of demands, right? There's deadlines, everything that Emily just talked about, you know, the marketing part and the part of like building our brand and talking to people and going to events. There's so many things that can be on our list of to-dos that it can feel overwhelming to add another thing. And when I've talked to business owners about it, they've said, well, I don't have like an hour to go run, or I don't have time to prepare my meals and chop up all my food and do that kind of a thing. But what I'm going to talk about today is actually something that I feel like is very significant for us. How many of you have sat in front of your computer screen and just felt like a blank feeling, like, what am I here doing? Have you ever felt that? Have you ever done that? Yeah. So I think a lot of times that when we're entrepreneurs, we want to get more done in a less amount of time. So we push ourselves, right? And we keep pushing ourselves. We stay up late. We get up early. And when we're doing that consistently without taking any kind of break, it can impact our health. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what the impacts of stress are on our health, and then like 3 tips that you guys can use to actually take into your day to help you be able to manage stress. So it's not that we're going to ever get stress out of our lives. It's always going to be there. But what I found is that I love is helping people be resilient to stress. So what I think that means is that we might have a stressor, but we can bounce back from it, right? And that we can learn skills that we use every day to help us with our stress. So I'm gonna share my screen here, and if I can. So you guys see the stressed out lady here? She's a stressed out businesswoman. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. She's pulling out her hair, right? Have any of you ever felt so stressed that you kind of are in this fight or flight mode, right? Like you don't know what to do. I know I felt that myself. So stress can have a lot of impact on us. I'm trying to see how I can move this forward. Let's see. Emily, okay. So a lot of times what I've noticed is that when we're stressed, we say words and thoughts in our mind, right? I'm so stressed. I can't take anymore. This is too hard. I love that Emily brought up, you know, sometimes when we're entrepreneurs, we're like, you know what, is this working? Is this really, am I getting anywhere with this? You know, this is too much. I'm exhausted. So stress is actually a state of emotional strain, right? It's tension on our body. It's demanding circumstances. And did you guys know there's good stress and bad stress? Have you heard of that before? There's 2 different types of stress. And stress actually can be a perceived or an actual demand on us, okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit about this friendly tiger here. So he looks kind of friendly and soft and nice, but how many of you would want to be stuck in a room with him? Yeah. So our brains have this automatic response to stress. You guys know about the amygdala, which is the back part of our brain here, that it's our fight, flight, or freeze response. And so if we saw this tiger, you know, back in the Ice Age, they had the tigers, and the reason we have stress, the reason we have the stress response is to run away from those tigers. So what I've realized is that sometimes for me and for a lot of people I know, their perception of the stressor is what's causing them stress. So if I think, oh no, I didn't make that sale, I'm not going to be able to make my income for the month. Or if I think oh, that person didn't talk to me at that event, they must not want my product. You know, some of these negative thoughts that we can get into, then we feel a stressful feeling, right? And so it's a lot of times it can be your perception of the stress. So stress is our body's response to a threat. So I want you guys to tell me things that you feel like are a threat to you and your business that stress you out. What stresses you out?
Well, I think a big one for lots of companies is finance and not having enough time.
Yeah. So feeling like you don't have time to do everything that's on your to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is one thing that I've had to try to get used to is you might make a certain amount of money one month and then another amount of money another month, and trying to make your bills and all of that kind of stuff is stressful for an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
What else is stressful for an entrepreneur? For any of you guys?
For me, it's the changing technology, trying to keep up with all the new things that are coming out.
Yeah, there's always new things, new ideas coming out that are, you know, something new, and it's that whole thing of learning new things. And for some people, that's exciting and challenging, and for others, it's stressful, right? To learn something new. I feel like in my business, it's been a huge learning curve, and I'm grateful for people like Emily who've helped me with things that I am not an expert at. But we can have stress that is perceived, right? So I want you to think about that. The things that I'm experiencing as stress, are they really stress, or is it a perceived emotion that I'm feeling, right? Because it's a fight or flight, right? It's this stress response. Stress is our body's response to a threat. It's to warn us or protect us. So when we're stressed in our business, it's to protect us from losing all our money or being a failure or whatever we think is our biggest fear. That's what the stress response is doing. So as you can see, there's this little circle of the stress response, and it talks about that we have increased sensitivity to stress. Then the stressor, it has a wear and tear on our body and reduces our health ultimately. So how many people have you guys known that are entrepreneurs that get sick a lot? I know there's tons. I know in my women's networking business, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I had pneumonia last year, or I've been dealing with this cold for a long time. So stress cumulatively has an effect on our physical well-being. So it's because our body's going into this emergency, freak out mode, right? So your heart beats faster, your muscles tighten, your blood pressure rises, you breathe quicker, and it's for us to be able to run away from that tiger, right? But when there's not an actual tiger, it can be detrimental to us. So this is the imposter tiger, and a real tiger would be scary, but this imposter tiger, he's not quite as scary, right? I mean, when I've done this with kids that I've done counseling with, they're like, oh yeah, it's a nice, soft little, cuddly tiger. It's a stuffed animal, right? So stress is a push or something that's pushing on us, right? It's taking away the equilibrium that we have in our system. And anxiety is the way we view stress, and it's when we have that constant thought of, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to make my bills. Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to, I don't have enough clients, or right? Those are the anxiety things that we get into. So anxiety is a reaction to stress, and it could be out of proportion from the actual event. Does that make sense? How many of you have felt any of these effects of stress? Have you ever had problems sleeping, pain, headaches, fatigue, an abnormal heartbeat? I know sometimes when I'm really stressed out, I can't sleep because my heart's beating really fast. Tension in your muscles, chest pain, an upset stomach, or any of you had any of those problems before?
Yeah, pretty much daily.
Yeah. So when you had those problems, did you guys relate them to stress, or did you think, oh, it's just something? What did you think? Did you just think, oh, I'm sick, or did you relate it to, I've got a lot on my plate?
I think after a while, you start to realize it's the stress.
Yeah, after a while, you're like, okay, something's going on here that doesn't feel quite right. So stress affects our body. It also affects our mind. And the thing that I work with is both, right? The body and the mind, that connection of the body, mind, and the spirit, right? To help us with our stressors. So the effects on the mind are you could be restless, lack of motivation, feeling overwhelmed. How many of you feel overwhelmed? I know I have a lot in my business. I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot to do here, right? And there's not enough hours in the day to do this. Irritability is a huge one. If you notice yourself getting like tense with your family or friends, social withdrawal, you don't want to see anyone or do anything. You're just going to stick to yourself. How many of you exercise every single day? Raise your hand if you exercise every day. Okay. How many of you eat a plant-based diet every day?
I try.
How many of you feel like really confident about handling stress? Okay, so I'm speaking to the right audience here, because this is what we're going to talk about, is how you can put these little things, tweak these little things into your day so that you're still taking care of yourself. Because I've noticed it's kind of like at the beginning of the year when everyone sets their New Year's resolutions, they're going to exercise for an hour a day, and they're only going to eat green smoothies. And there's a lot of really high expectations that people set. But when you actually look at it and you pare it down to something small that is doable, that's when you can feel success and you can notice the impact on your business. Because I was thinking about this, with your business. Do you guys remember, like, I just got home from Alaska, and I actually have been getting over this little cold, and I'm feeling a lot better. But what I noticed is when they do the oxygen mask thing on, have you guys noticed that they tell you all about if the cabin loses pressure, put your oxygen mask on? So I've done this a lot with caregivers or moms, but what about a business owner? How important are you to your business?
I am my business.
Yeah.
You're your business. If you're not okay, what happens? If you don't put your oxygen mask on, but yet you're trying to put it on your clients, what's going to happen?
Not good things.
Not good things, right? I mean, if we're not taking care of our own stress, then ultimately we won't have a business, right? We won't have the things the reasons why we went into the business in the first place. So I want you to think about, how can I prioritize myself, as I am the greatest asset to my business. I'm the most important asset to my business. Nothing else is as important as me taking care of me so that I can function well and I can do what I need to do in my business. So I also love this story. You guys remember the story of the goose that lays the golden egg? It's kind of if you read it, it's kind of a little bit creepy and weird because the goose gets killed and all this stuff. But there's this goose, and it lays a golden egg, and the guy thinks, if I kill it, I'll get more golden eggs. But ultimately, what happens?
No more eggs.
No more eggs. And we want those golden eggs. We want to make money. We want more clients. We want more time for ourselves. I mean, ultimately, the reason I went into business was to help people, but also I want more time. I want more time freedom. And if we're not taking care of ourselves, we won't be able to do any of that. So the goal is for you guys to develop resilience to stress. What does resilience mean?
You can take it.
Yeah, you can take the stress and you can bounce back from it, right? So we're going to help you feel capable, calm, and relaxed. So there's going to be 3 things that I'm going to talk about to help you guys with that. So we're going to respond to stress rather than react. If we react, we go into fight or flight. We're alarmed, we're panicked, we're dysregulated. If we're responding, we're more mindful, we're more aware, we're more relaxed, and we're more calm. Did you know you can be relaxed and calm and even when you're experiencing a stressor? So it's interesting, right? So these are the 3 trips that we're going to use for you guys to be able to increase your productivity, creativity, and focus, right? Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
So the first tip, and it's kind of hard to see this, sorry, because I have it on a PowerPoint, but is to shift your focus. Okay, so you're shifting your focus, and this is something you can do in just a few minutes. You're shifting your focus from the stressors. So can someone give me an example of some situation where you felt really stressed in your business? Like maybe a lot of things were happening all at once, or you got that extra phone call or that extra email that, give me an example.
Yeah, for me, it comes when it's like family and school and work all combine at the same time. That's when I get super stressed out and just feel like exploding.
Okay. So is there a specific time you're thinking of?
Well, it happens a lot. So.
Okay, so what it is a thought in your head like, oh no, I've got the kid stuff here, I've got my business stuff, and then you have the feeling of panic, right?
Uh-huh.
I want you to try this. When you have that feeling of panic, I want you to take a shift. So you're shifting from the panic feeling to you're taking a physical shift. So what you could do physically is you go take a drink of water, you get up out of your chair, and you stretch. Do you like my shirt?
Yes, I do. Woo!
You get out of your chair and you shift and you stretch. In fact, everybody just stretch right now. Go from one side to the other and just notice. How many of you have been sitting at your computer for a little while? We all have, right? Yeah.
Angela's been moving. I've seen her. She's moving a little bit.
So a lot of times we think, I've got to get this project done. How many of you are on your computer a lot? How much time do you guys spend on your computer? I know Emily and Lavinia do a lot because they've done stuff for me, and I know they do a ton of stuff, right? Yeah. Most of us are on our computer a lot. So even if you can get up and grab a drink of water, stretch for a minute, breathe. Breathing is awesome for us. We can exist for a little while without water, even longer without food, but we cannot exist without breathing. So I'm going to do a little breathing exercise for you guys at the end, but breathing is so important. So even if you allow yourself to get up and do some breathing and then go back to what you're doing, you're going to notice a shift. You're going to notice that you have more energy, right? But a lot of times we don't want to give ourselves that break. And why is that? What do you think?
Gotta get it done.
Yeah, you gotta get it done.
Yeah. And there's times that we're in a momentum and we get it done, but there's a lot of times where we're staring at our screen going, I don't, or we're feeling that, So noticing and tuning into your body when you're feeling that, and getting a drink every 2 hours, actually hour and a half that you're at your computer screen, you should be getting up and moving, stretching, breathing, getting a drink of water, whatever it is. So the next shift is an emotional shift. So Emily, I love that you shared that because that's an emotional experience, right? To be like, I can't do this, it's too much. Yeah. So you can shift your emotions just like we can shift ourselves physically, we can shift our emotions. So the emotion you're feeling with that is fear and anxiety, right? Uh-huh. So shifting it to something that's more joyful. Emily, what's something that's joyful for you that you enjoy doing?
Running. Running
is joyful, okay. So you may not have time to get your running shoes on and run. Is there music that you like to listen to? Is there?
So yeah, I do have let's see, what's my jam lately? I like to listen to Lindsey Sterling and Radioactive while I'm working because I feel like I'm in the zone, I'm
okay.
I'm on the violin with Lindsay, getting my work done all at the same time. But
yeah,
I do take breaks to stand up and walk around the office every 20 to 40 minutes. I try to do that.
Okay, awesome. And the music thing is great because you cannot listen to if you listen to that Pharrell song Happy, you can't listen to that and be distressed, right? Yeah. So if you have some songs or music that shifts you into a happy state, it's a dancing state, it's a fun state, listen to that for a couple minutes. It's only going to take 2 or 3 minutes out of your day and you're going to see that you're going to shift emotionally and it lets go of that stress feeling, right? Yeah. So you want to be able to do that. There's a lot of different things. You could call a friend. You could look at a joke online, just something that is going to shift you from anxiety to happiness, calm. You could listen to some kind of a meditation. YouTube has a ton of great meditations. So you want to make an emotional shift, right? When you notice your emotions getting the best of you and you feel trapped. Because when we have anxiety and stress, we feel trapped, and then we can't be creative, we can't be productive, we can't do the things we want to do, right? The last shift is you're going to take a mental shift. So you took a physical shift, emotional shift, and the last one is your mental shift. So you're shifting your focus from whatever I'm doing here on my computer or whatever you might be working on project-wise to something totally that uses a different part of your brain. So how many of you are artistic? How many of you like to draw or?
Lavinia is.
So, yeah, Lavinia definitely is. So I bought myself, just a second, I'm going to grab it. I'm not very artistic myself, but I bought one of these and I have these for my clients. You guys see these? These are the adult coloring books.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I have this just right by my laptop so I can sit in color for a while. And you know what? That totally changes my focus in a different way, right? Because I'm focusing on the beautiful colors and it's relaxing. Another thing that some people like to do is a crossword puzzle or something that uses their brain in a different way. Playing an instrument, if you play a musical instrument, that's going to use your brain in a different way. If you're an artist sitting and drawing, it's just trying to change and shift to a different focus in your brain. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
When you do that, your brain relaxes and it lets go of that stressful feeling. So it's pretty cool. So that's the taking the break. There's the physical break, emotional break, and mental break. And the next part we're going to talk about is just noticing our reaction. I think we talked a little bit about this earlier. What is your reaction to the stressor? If your reaction is, oh no, my business is going to fail, is that a true thought? Is it?
No.
Okay. So if we have a reaction that's really extreme, like, oh no, I can't do this, blah, 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 you're noticing it. Oh, I just noticed that I had this reaction that is pretty intense. And you're asking yourself some questions. What if there's a different explanation? Like yesterday, I had a little bit of reaction. So I was at the showcase. I did the showcase table. Brooke was there at the eWomen Network. And no one signed up for my event at the end of the month. And I thought, oh no. No one likes me. No one likes what I'm doing. You know, I had that negative thought for a second. And then I thought, what if there's a different explanation? What if it's school's in and everyone's busy and there's a lot going on? You know, maybe they have other priorities right now, you know? So what if there's a different explanation? And then you think about what is good about this situation, right? I loved, Emily, that you brought up looking at the positive of what you've already accomplished in your business. So when you're feeling stressed out, what have I already accomplished? What have I already done that's been amazing? And look how far I've gotten. And I had one of my coaches say to keep a success journal of all my successes, all the things that I've been able to do. And when I do that, I feel great. I feel inspired. I feel really excited. So you're looking at what's good. And then you're also asking, how likely is this to happen? Like if I think, oh no, I'm going to be poor, I'm not going to have any money. How likely is that? You have clients. It's okay. Things are going well, you know. And noticing what you're feeling in your body. Can everybody tell me what's an area you guys feel stressed? I feel it in my shoulders and like tension in like my chest area. Where do you guys feel your stress?
My neck.
Your neck? Yeah, that's a common one.
My back. In my back.
Your back? Okay. Okay.
Neck and
So I love it. Emily's getting up and she's taking a little break. It's awesome. So you're noticing what's happening in your body because, you know, when we're not being mindful of our body, we're pushing it too far. And so when you're listening to your body, you're saying, oh yeah, how do I feel right now? I notice that I feel this stressor, and then you can take one of those breaks. Does that make sense? So
yeah.
You're looking at your thoughts not as facts, because they're not facts. A lot of times our thoughts are emotional. They're not facts, right? So that's the second one. So you're going to take a break for the first one, either physical, emotional, or mental break. And then this is to notice your reaction to the stressor. And the third one, which I love, is getting up and moving. Sometimes I have been spending a lot of time on my computer because I'm putting together a 3 CD series with a workbook and everything for my clients to learn how to tune into their body and take care of their health. So it's taking a lot of time. I'm typing things up and it's a big project. So I've noticed what I do is I tell myself I'm going to do it for an hour, and then I take a walk, and I have a beautiful area that I live in, and I go walk down to the park. What do you think that does?
Gets your heart pumping and you're breathing more and have more of your mindfulness and
yeah, you're able to come back to the screen and be present and focus more. At least that's what I've noticed for myself. Has anyone noticed that? Who takes breaks already in their work? You guys take breaks?
I have to, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the biggest thing about moving, and I love all the research that's been done about physical movement, what it does for us. I'm not even talking about, oh, you lose weight. I'm talking about how it helps your brain, your cognition. You can think better. So if you change your physical position, it's going to help you decrease your tension, stabilize your mood, improve your sleep, and improve your self-esteem. Isn't that awesome? I mean, all of those things can happen just by moving your body. I know Emily has a practice of running, and I actually this morning didn't have a ton of time, but I just went and did a little jog around my house. And I noticed that it gave me energy and made me feel a good feeling so that I could be ready and focused for today. So anything that you can do to move your body. What do you guys like to do to move your body?
I go for walks every morning.
Walks. Okay. Awesome.
Bike ride.
Clears your head. What's that?
I bike ride bike.
Oh, you
Then
bike ride? Okay. Cool. I love to bike too.
Yeah, Angela's been teaching me.
Awesome. Anything else that you guys like to do?
I do yoga. Like this morning I didn't have time for a run, but I did yoga.
Okay. I put a timer on so I would know my time. So those are all great. And guess what? Each of those, biking might take a tad bit longer, but you could still just bike around your neighborhood, right? So I want you to think about this, to plan in your day, plan in breaks. So for me, every hour I get up from my computer and I do one of these things, but you could plan in your breaks every 2 hours or something that feels doable to you. And either take a walk, stretch, you know, be able to distract yourself with a different task, and even just standing for a while when you've been sitting for a while. Does that?
Yeah.
So I want you guys to plan it into your day. So just like you write in the clients you have, the meetings you have, I want you to write in stretch, move my body, or run or bike or whatever it is into your day. Why do you think I want you to put it in there?
You'll actually do it.
Yeah. Because if you put it in your schedule, you're going to actually do it, okay? So does anyone need help thinking about how to put that into their schedule? So can I give you the challenge of 5 minutes a day? 5 minutes? Okay. So 5 minutes of doing something where you're moving your body, and then you're going to take breaks as you're sitting at your computer or whatever you're doing. Anybody? How do you feel about that? Is it possible to do that?
Yes.
Does it feel doable? Okay. So you're going to schedule in those breaks. You're going to schedule in the time that you take to exercise, okay? So another big thing, and I'm not going to go into it a ton today, but is scheduling your meals. So preparing your meals either the night before or the weekend, so that you know what you're going to eat throughout the day. How many of you sit at your computer screen and miss lunch, miss dinner, miss any snacks? So that's another thing I want you to plan into your schedule, is to put down when you're going to go shopping, when you're going to prepare the meals and snacks. And you could easily have stuff, I mean, we're all right by our fridge, right? So you could easily have stuff that you could just go and get out and make for yourself really quickly. But listening to your body when it needs that break, right? So again, with a physical break, you're going to take a break to eat something, right? So we're going to do a little meditation just really quick. I think I have like 1 minute left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a basic breathing meditation that we're going to do. So I want you to get comfortable. So nothing crossed, your legs not crossed, your arms not crossed. And you can either have your hands flat on your lap or up like this. Either way is great. So we're going to just do a breathing meditation. And with a breathing meditation, it's focusing on your breath. So a lot of times when we have anxiety or stress, our brain is going in that, like the hamster on the wheel, right? So the focus of meditation is bringing yourself to a place where you're focusing on something different. What we're going to be focusing on in this meditation is our breath. So everyone, I want you to just be able to be comfortable in your seat, and then we're going to breathe in for 4, we're going to hold it for 4, and the holding it gives you that tension feeling, and then you're releasing the tension for 8. Does it make sense? So we're going to go ahead, and you can shut your eyes or keep them open, whatever you want to do. And we're just going to breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then blow out. And you do it until all of the breath is out. Okay? Let's do that again. So you're breathing in and holding it, and then breathing out. And you're just noticing your breath. So when your mind starts to wander, you're coming back to your breath. Whenever you notice your mind going somewhere different, you're bringing it back to the focus on your breath. So let's do that again. Breathing in, holding it, and breathing out. And bringing your focus to your breath. Keep focusing on that breath. Just breathing normally, but you're focusing on what your breath feels like. What does it feel like to breathe in through your nose? What does it feel like in your lungs? When your diaphragm expands, what does that feel like? Okay, we're going to do one more together, and then as we end this, I want you guys to think about times during the day that you can use this. You can just do this simple breathing exercise to bring you into a more calm state. So we're going to breathe in again for 4. Hold it, and then breathe out. And you can use that throughout the day to help you get from a stressed out feeling to a more calm. How do you guys feel?
Really good.
Yeah, it's a great relaxing thing. And so you have these things you can put in your pocket and use whenever you need to help yourself get from a stressed out feeling to a more calm and relaxed state so that you can be focused, productive, and excited about your business. So good job, everybody. Do you have any questions for me? I guess we can take questions at the end, but is there anything that comes to your mind or any thoughts that you have?
I do have Pomodoro is a type of project management, or it's actually a type of time management system that's kind of similar to what you're saying, where you do 20 minutes of work without any interruptions, and then after 20 minutes, you get up and walk somewhere and answer your calls, check your email, and then sit back down and do 20 more minutes. So that's one way that I try to get up and move around. It's a time management type of technique.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
And if you guys, I mean, I know that we're all talking about different things that we do in our business, but if you're interested in my Mindfulness in the Mountains event, it's coming up on the 30th. So we actually go into the mountains and we do different types of meditation. We do a breathing meditation. We do a loving kindness meditation. We do some yoga. And we do a walking meditation by a beautiful stream. So it's awesome. Emily helped me with my last one, and it was amazing. So that's on September 30th. Or if you want individual help with managing your stress, I would love to help you with that. So.
Okay. Thanks so much, Camille. We're going to switch gears and go into how to make your brand a business asset with Lavinia. And I my kid up at 11:15. I think we'll be fine, but just go ahead, Lavinia. If I have to leave, just keep going, okay?
I'm going to be short and sweet. I am extremely impressed. People are still here to watch. So,
I'm excited.
And I'm so happy that I got to go after Camille, so I'm not as stressed about it.
Oh, good.
So, thank you, Camille. All right, so just welcome from fabulous sunny Las Vegas.
Woo!
My name's Lavinia Mumford, and I've been working with Emily for not quite a year. And before that, I have my own business, my own freelance business. And before that, I worked for an in-house company. And before that, I did some work on the Strip. I worked for an ad agency down on the Strip in Las Vegas. So it's been about 20 years that I've been doing this, and I just love it. I love it with all my heart, and it's something I've always wanted to do. And I have a lot of fun working with Emily. It's awesome. So let me start. I'm going to share the slide with you. All right.
So you can see where all of my designs come from because Lavinia, she does them.
All right. So as a small business owner, you have a lot of assets. I mean, you have employees and even your business know-how. Sometimes it's a family recipe. Your industry knowledge. I mean, there's a lot of things that you need to protect and just maintain and use for your business, but we don't always think about our brand as an asset. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So just to start at the very beginning, like, what is a brand, right? So usually conjures up images of cowboys and ranchers, just because a long time ago, cattle had to be moved across the country to Chicago slaughterhouses, and it just caused a need to distinguish one set of cows from another set of cows, and so the brand was born. But similarly to that, in the 1800s, packaged goods started being popular and were filling market shelves, and producers of these goods, they needed people to know which was theirs, which came from their business, because, you know, there was a lot of these fizzy caramel colored beverages on store shelves. And so Coca-Cola needed a way for people to know which one was theirs. And so that's where branding really got started in the 1800s. And nowadays, 97% of the world population will recognize Coca-Cola's brand. That's pretty good. So in short, a brand is just a non-generic name for a product. There's some brands that have eclipsed the products themselves, like Xerox for copies and Kleenex for tissues. In fact, those companies had to go to court to make sure that their brands didn't become public domain because people were just using them in everyday conversations. Similarly, you have brand names that we use as verbs like Skype me or Google it, and they just have become part of our culture. So branding in one sense of the word is just a name or logo or trademark of your business. But in the 1900s, marketers started to realize that they could create perceptions in people's minds about the qualities and attributes of products and services. And so the branding idea kind of expanded to a more all-encompassing term, and we call that brand identity. So your brand identity is what your client and prospective clients think about you when they see your logo or they hear your name. It's just everything they think they know about you. So like take Nike. When you see the Nike swoosh or you hear the Nike name, you may think of, you know, competition or victory, success, celebrity. They have a lot of celebrities in their ads, and definitely athletic excellence. So these are the kind of relationship that Nike wants to have with their clients. They want you to feel these things and think about these things when you see their brand. Some companies do such a good job forging these emotional connections with clients that customers give them nicknames. So like in 1981, McDonald's trademarked Mickey D's because that term that people were using, it embraced their brand as like the fun family local hamburger stand. Federal Express, same thing. Their clients or their brand is speed and efficiency and in delivering packages. So when their customers shorten their name to FedEx, well, that's, you know, exactly what FedEx branding implies. My last example is Target. So Target's brand is affordable chic. Well, when customers pronounce it with a French accent, Target, Well, that's exactly what Target wants. It's embedded in clients' minds, the affordable chic brand. And this type of business-client relationship, it really only happens when a client or a customer feels like they really know you and your business. So I just want to stick with Target for a minute. Target's biggest competitors are Walmart and Kmart. Walmart is the low price leader. Their tagline is always low prices and save money, and their products are great value. Walmart crushes the competition. By just pure price comparisons, whether it's a mom and pop store or a big companies alike. So how does Target compete against Walmart? Because they sell the same products that they do, and they can't afford to lower their prices, and they can't afford to specialize and grow in that market. So the way Target competes, and not only competes, but prospers against Walmart, is their branding.
Mm-hmm.
So Target's tagline is expect more and pay less. So that's the essence of their brand. You know, Target customers, they expect clean stores, they expect short lines, they expect more hip, fashion-forward designs. Target just offers more of an upscale lifestyle than Walmart does. And one of the ways they did this was by partnering with Michael Graves. Michael Graves is a renowned architect, and they approached him and partnered with him on a line of housewares. These housewares were everything from teapots to vases to blenders, and they were very elegant and inexpensive. And some of his designs were very similar to vases that you could buy on Saks Fifth Avenue. And so this was just an extension of Target's brand, the affordable chic. Target could have gone a lot of different ways with their branding. They could have tried to be another low price leader. They could have tried to be the discount store that you can trust because they've been around a long time. But they've gone with a clean, fun, youthful designs. You see it in their ads, you see it print ads, YouTube ads, TV ads, their website, their stores. And because of this branding, they've been able to thrive in this market against Walmart. Let's look at Kmart. Kmart used to be one of America's leading discount retailers. Their brand was very similar to that of Walmart. It consists of low prices and the blue light specials, but they've gone into severe decline and they're finding it very hard to stay in the game. Around the same time Target enlisted Michael Graves, Kmart entered into a partnership with Martha Stewart, and they poured millions of dollars into associating her name with their brand, hoping to just sway people away from that pure price competition. But it didn't work. Does anyone know why it didn't work? Any guesses?
Because she went to jail?
That was part of it.
People didn't like Martha Stewart.
The biggest problem was the disparity between Martha's upscale products and the stores themselves.
Mm-hmm.
If you walk into a Kmart store, most of them are downtrodden, they're unkept. Just the environment is not a clean, upscale environment. And so that contrast is too much. You have to be consistent. So if you're going to offer branding of Martha Stewart upscaleness, your stores have to reflect that also. But that's just a lesson in being a lot more consistent in what in keeping your brand. Brands are very powerful. It's a very powerful tool, and it shows your personality, and it doesn't depreciate, but you're right, it can be damaged. And Emily's exactly right. Martha did go to jail. Jared went to jail. Chipotle had an E. coli outbreak. VW and Volvo both had scandals. These places like Kmart and Target and Walmart, they hire PR firms. They hire marketing firms to protect their brand. But as a small business owner, that's all up to you. So unless you see your brand as a real asset to your business, there's a high likelihood that your brand will suffer and be damaged by neglect or just indifference. But if you've cultivated a good relationship with your clients, they're much more likely to forgive you and give you another chance, knowing that whatever happened is just not the norm for your business. So an example of that's a local pharmacy that's been in business, that's been in the same community for maybe 50 years. They likely have a trusted reputation. Even if the owners have changed, the reputation doesn't change. And it's much harder and a lot more expensive to change someone's impression of you down the road. So like I said, you need to make sure that you stick to your branding, because even if your company changes, and sometimes it will, your personality shouldn't change. You should always, work to create a positive emotional response in your clients. So let's take a look at one of the masters of branding, and that's Disney. Now, what makes Disneyland better than other theme parks? Anybody? Is it the rides?
Kind of just that they've branded the magical kingdom. Like you go there and you really feel like it is a magical place.
Exactly. I mean, if you want to go on some really awesome roller coasters, you can go to Six Flags or Knott's Berry Farm down the street for half the price. So Disneyland is not about having the best rides. It's the branding that they do. They don't have parking lot A and B. They have Pumbaa parking and Mickey and Friends parking. And Cinderella's autograph, it's the same. Whether you get it in Disneyland California in 1980 or Disneyland Tokyo in 2017, it's always the same. Everything from the fences to the food is Mickey ears, and they even go so far as to pump in the smell of honey at the Winnie the Pooh ride.
No way.
Everything they can to make your visit there a magical experience by immersing you into their brand. They're not branded as the park with the best rides or the lowest prices. They are branded as the happiest place on earth. But not everybody is going to have the same response to your brand. Let's take Apple. Many people believe that Apple's brand is the key to their success, that it really has nothing to do with their products. Some people swear they will never buy an Apple product because they feel they're pretentious and elitist. But that's exactly what their marketing strategy is. They want you to feel like you belong to a special club. They want you to feel, I won't say pretentious, but they want you to feel like you own something special. Mm-hmm. Their computers and their phones, they function the same as any IBM computer or any Android phone. In fact, many countries have copied their designs and sold them for much less. But Apple's success is not about price point. In fact, they just had a release. They just released their what is that, the iPhone X?
Yeah, the first $1,000 phone.
Right. It has nothing to do with price. It's the same phone as any other phone. It's their branding. It's a feeling that they present. Even in the 1980s, they had their now legendary marketing campaign, just that portrayed Apple as a symbol of counterculture and just breaking through IBM's mold. Apple products are beautiful and they're easy to use. It's not just a machine in a box with a blue screen. That's what their branding is messaging for you. So Nike, Target, Disneyland, and Apple, they all gave us examples of how branding is an asset to businesses. And you just need to remember, before anyone sets foot in your store or purchases your product or your service, they're going to research you. They're going to Google you. They're going to stalk your Facebook page. They're going to read Yelp reviews and peruse your website before there is any interaction that occurs between you and a potential client. They're already going to determine how they feel about you just by your branding. If you have a cake business, you don't just gear up your site to sell cakes. I mean, you want it to be the most fun, engaging, stress-free experience of buying a cake that your client has ever had. You want to immerse them in the story of how your cake is being made and why you love making cakes so much. Show a video of you making their cake. You have to make your company more than just cake. It has to be an experience. You need to let them see who you are through your website, your packaging, uniforms, even your email signature. It's all very important to make this emotional connection with your customers. And before you do that, you need to sit down and think, how do I want people to perceive me? Am I sophisticated? Am I handmade? Am I high quality? Am I the lowest price? You need to make sure that your clients are consistently seeing you, how you see yourself. And you need to know, how are they seeing you right now? And is that how you want it to be seen? Are they seeing the real you? So you need to take the time to formulate and develop a brand strategy. It's really kind of an exciting and rewarding process. And if you want help with that process, Emily Gerber is your girl. She's awesome. And I love working with her and sitting down with her and just figuring out your personality and where you want your company to go. We'd love to help you with that.
Yeah, Lavinia, I love how you have all these different designs on this last slide of yours. The idea that you're putting across is that sometimes, and I've seen this with a lot of different small businesses, even myself, like you start out, you just get any old logo done and you don't think twice about it. And then you progress a little bit further, you make a different one that fits you a little bit better, and then you progress and you don't realize that you still have the old logo on other stuff. This point that you're making about make your mark, decide what it's going to be, get efficient, and go out helping people to remember you. You need to have that same brand and that same cohesiveness for the whole time that you're talking to people. So if you do decide to change something, change it all the way and be consistent with it so that people can remember who you are. They're going to think about you when they see a whole bunch of different gears, but they'll think about you when they see the same gear over and over and over again.